because there's going to be another stream this morning. I'm going to wait for viewers. I'm going to go up and add the title to this. I know the dog was laying actually in one of the spots I often sit at, but I was preferring this spot this morning, even though this cushion likes to slide. And he's calmed down, but I just want to put this there. Also, I'd like to ask people about what I could look it up to leaderboard means, because I'm wondering if not having that selected, because I've never known what it is and I don't know if I like the sound of it. I want things to be, for the most part, as equal as they can be on here. And in life, I think that's a good thing too. So I never turn the feature on, but I'm wondering if that's maybe why I'm not seeing certain comments sometimes, because sometimes it seems like that's the case. So I'm just gonna wait for viewers now. But I can say that one thing that self-care looks like, for lack of a different word to put to it, and I'm just a bit chilly this morning. I got this big scarf like thing. I also have anemia. One thing that it can look like is the importance of the breath. And I know lots of people don't quite understand what that means, and they maybe think that it doesn't mean all that much, because they know that we all breathe, and as I'm saying it, even I know there's nobody here yet, but for those that see this afterwards, because uploading versus live streaming, I still prefer live streaming, so that's what I'm doing. But even I have experienced in moments when I've really needed to, and I still forget to really do it sometimes, when you need to take a deep breath and kind of find your center, and it doesn't have to be like a long process, or but seriously, the different types of breathing, and I don't know a lot about many of them. There's probably more than I would ever guess or like to think there is, but let's do it there right away. They're like, I know I felt it too, folks. I've sometimes felt, well, breathing is something that we do in life. So chapstick if you're curious, chapstick if you're not. I have anemia as well, but breathing is something that we do in life. Why do I need instruction? But if you take a deep breath, and again, I sometimes don't remember to do this. And hello, Mirish Ahmad. Mirish, it's a very cool name. But seriously, if you take a deep breath and let your chest and your lungs fill with that oxygen. Happy EID, what is that? And thank you, I think. And even letting it go through your nose, but you breathe however is most comfortable to you. Okay, cool. Well, I'm not, so I don't know what that stands for, but cool. Welcome. Glad to have you here. I'm in Canada. Where are you watching from? Anyway, so, and to the others, I think they all just, the three of them just kind of tuned in almost all at once. We're about 4 minutes in, so we got one of you for each minute. Just kidding. But I've had a very fast-paced, hectic morning, even though it wasn't what I had initially planned to do. By the way, folks, please remember to like. But, so I'm needing to do that breathing. Thank you for the like. I'm needing to allow it. Hello, Carlos. How are you? Glad to have you back. I think that this stream and the one that I'm going to do after this stream are going to be especially helpful for you and many. I'm needing to figure out what I'm needing. And sometimes we all need to do that. Sometimes, but this other topic is a thing that everybody needs to do. Basically, and unfortunately, I feel like a lot of people don't really take the time to do it. I'm not just talking about the breathing and making sure that your basic needs are met. I'm talking about, just a moment. I'm using lotion as a tripod, making sure that the lever is not on top of the phone, or you would have just saw a bunch of lotion come down the screen. But anyway, basically, and this is, just to make sure that it's known, which is probably obvious, this is not a scripted talk, and they very rarely are. But I wanted to come because I felt like it was a little bit of a topic and a preview. That, whether it is, hello, Liam, good morning, good day. Whether it is, holding the pet that's looking longingly at you if he comes close enough, but sometimes he's stubborn. But sometimes he's really great. Whether it is a social connection online or in person, whether it is eating well, whether it is skipping school for the day. I don't really condone it. I do believe that there is something good about the school system, but I also believe that there are lots of ways to learn, and that it's not necessarily, sometimes it very much is, but it's not always set up to, okay, see you later. It's not always set up to accommodate a variety of types of learners, for lack of a different way to put it. But that's not the main thing I want to talk about here. But thanks for the second like. Thanks for the hearts. So what I do want to say, I'm trying to figure it all out. So, like, my day had to be readjusted a little bit, okay? And it's only about going on 9 a.m. And with that readjustment has had to come some acceptance, has had to come some certain processing of some thoughts. Thank you for all the love. And a lot of thoughts. It's been a very thoughtful morning. But, oh yeah, it might be spring break, and not yet. Well, it certainly doesn't feel like spring outside, but yeah, it might be around this time of year. Just a minute, I'm adjusting the radio. Right. Providing. This is not monetized. I just want a little bit of background noise. I'm sitting a little bit closer to it than usual, but I don't even know if you can hear that, but I can, and that's the main thing. Yeah, we still got lots of snow here. And probably where you're at in Ontario, I believe you do as well. Do a flip? Yeah, no, that's not happening. I'm sorry. I have a tight chest this morning. It's bright and early in the morning. I could do a couple of stretches. That might be helpful. I think we should all enjoy the benefits of stretching. But I'm not good. I don't even know if I've ever done one, to be honest. Probably when I was young, but I'm not old, but I'm not that young anymore either. So you can do one on my behalf. And I don't want to put you upstairs because, I'm not going out today, so you don't have to go there. So take that. Hush up. Sorry. Talking to our dog. Okay, and he listened. Amazing. Although that's in a way a good segue for what the next plan is. And then I'm hoping to have about 15 minutes in between, 100%. I'm hoping to have about 15 minutes in between this and the next stream. Unfortunately, I couldn't do this as an intro stream. Well, I can, but basically, I'm going to have a guest joining me in about half an hour, a little more than that, if all goes well. And what I recently was reminded of, because it doesn't happen often, and I feel like maybe it's formatted a little bit differently now. But what I was recently reminded of is that when you select the option to invite a guest on screen, if you click next, it almost like acts as if you didn't select it. From what I understand, you have to actually wait for them to arrive. And it's bright and early, I believe. Even though she's in Ontario, I believe her part of Ontario is the same time zone as us. But she's miraculously taken the day off of work because she is working on self-employment. I've actually had her as a guest on my channel before. Hello, Donna Brooks. How are you? It's been a while. I've also been on hers. I should look back at that video, perhaps. But, and she isn't quiet, but I do want to make sure, because I've already been on a phone call. I've already talked to the other person in the house. Now I'm doing this. I've talked out loud to myself a little bit. I've really, done a little of most of it. Thank you for the third like. And so I really got to watch, because although she's not quiet, this particular friend of mine, she's pretty good at picking up on social cues. And if it looks like I want to say something, she might hold back and let me do so. Then again, I'm similar. So, but we communicate pretty well with each other. That's true. Almost 5 likes. Celebrate. Thank you. Where are you watching from? And is this your first time to the channel? Glad to have you here. We could be like, oh, no, you go ahead. No, you go ahead. No, you go ahead. And that's where it's different, online, when the comments just are going to come in when they come in. And I'm mostly okay with that. But she does stream from time to time, so it's not like it's like unfamiliar to her. I think that what we're going to talk about is meant to be heard by others, not just a conversation that I have with her. We did talk a little bit this morning, but it's morning, we haven't gotten deep into it. We have maybe set the groundwork for the deepness, but we haven't, So I don't know if she was going out to get a bite with her in-law. Don't have one. If you're feeling judge to me, right on, thank you. But don't have one. Not just about your name, and that's what you jump right in with. So you're looking at it. This is where the fans are, and we also need to be, try our best to remember that there are sometimes underage people that find their way here. I don't know why you're saying that, Donna. But anyway, hopefully my friend won't be either, because I was also thinking of my dad today, and I do often, one thing about grief, one thing about, loss of a loved one, the phrase time heals. And I really would like you to elaborate on what you said there, Donna. I don't want it to be misread. You know what you said. If you could say it in a different way and more, that would be, more elaborate, that would be great. I'm happy to have you here. At the moment, it looks like nobody's here, but I don't think that's right. But anyway, basically, I could have watched something, but I think I need to be we can chat, of course, but I think I need to be working with my own thoughts. Not that watching something does not produce my own thoughts, but I'm less likely to take the pauses when needed, even if I know that I should, and I'm more likely to just keep letting it play. And I'm not saying you love Jesus Christ. as opposed to Jesus Christ loved you or me? You're just assuming that I do, or are you asking? I don't know. I see a heart and I see a cross. And as far as if I do, I, like many people, have a wavering faith sometimes. So mixed feelings, but um, somewhat, somewhat I do. And I honestly feel like I do believe in a creator and a God, and I honestly feel like he understands that. They understand that. They're used to people feeling that. They understand why they'd feel it. And as long as there's at least a little bit of belief, they're happy. But everybody comes to it when they're meant to and if they're meant to. But an interesting thought just occurred when somebody is passing away and they're that close. I wonder if they do, religious or not, they know that they know that God is a concept or whatever you want to call it that some people talk about, and that is a part of the world. And I wonder if they actually see God. I wonder if they. I know that when they pass away, they do. Uh, but I don't. I'm not going to say thank you for the fourth like. I'm not going to sit here and say that someone has to be a believer to get to heaven. I'm not that. I hate to say it rigid, but I can't think of another word at the moment. But I heard someone recently say that God is a relationship before it is should be at all looked at as a religion. And it's a relationship that one can either choose to be in or not. So, anywho, I think about Dad, and I had some thoughts. And then I think about what my morning actually is going to look like, which is having my friend join me on stream in under an hour. And I'm looking forward to you all meeting her. Like I say, with the way it's set up, you have to be pretty much ready with your guest ready as well at the same time to select that option, is what it seems like. So I wanted to do a quick one before then, just to let you know. And it's going to be a very organic conversation. You're welcome to join in. I'm hoping she has at least an hour. I know that she took the day off work to try and get some stuff done, which hadn't initially included our chat, but she's willing to give the time to it. She's curious to see what may come from it, as am I, and I hope that it will be something that y'all will enjoy as well. I'm not going to try and make it too similar to the one I did with her months ago, because even though I do post almost daily, pretty much daily, and it may be a little bit tricky to find it, I don't remember what the thumbnail looks like. It just doesn't need to be today's topic. That's the other reason. No, you're just trolling, and I'm not going to fall for it. And even if you weren't, I mean, that'd be a silly thing to do. And I think that you could probably be a bit better about. And then a few seconds later, the same thing comes in. I think you'd be a bit better about conversing. And that is the thing about live streaming is, as opposed to an upload, is you kind of got to work with the chat as you're getting it. But yeah, I also needed to distract myself, and I felt like this might be the best way to do it as opposed to watching something myself. And sorry if I'm not that much on the title, but I listed some strategies, journaling. I said it today to someone. I said, the journaling, the deep breathing, the whatever else that lady said. I feel like it's fine. It's good to know as you're starting your mental health journey or as you're starting your journey to wellness. And it might be good to continue to incorporate, but at some point, you need more than that. Sometimes that isn't going to be all you need. Same with counseling. And G and I both agreed. Sure, there's some lovely counselors out there whose heart is truly in helping people, but honestly, they're about the money, most of them. and some of them do not have the best strategies uh, in working with people, or are not necessarily in the right fit for a job. But this friend that um, yeah, this friend that I'm going to be talking to, uh, it's something that she kind of does in her career, and it's something that I think she could. I don't know, I just popped up now. Oh, because that's the point. It's something that I think that she was maybe meant to do, but life had other plans for her journey. And today, um, it includes being on my live stream with me and us all having a lovely chat. So let's hope and pray, because she did have to leave home briefly this morning for whatever. Let's hope and pray, or whichever works best, whichever you feel makes most sense for you to do, that she will be all right, that she will get home fine, and in about almost exactly 39 minutes, um, I will be back on stream, and she'll join me, and we'll all have a lovely chat and see what we chat about. Be prepared for it to be potentially deep at times, but that it's okay to feel that maybe the deep experience is what you need, and what we all might need. Um, and to, if need be, kind of let yourself be out of your comfort zone a little bit, but also know when you need to um, maybe step back for a bit. I'm not so sure, but I used to Liam and Carlos could be familiar to me. One of you not. Um, so yeah, stay tuned. Like I say, in about 35 minutes or so now. We got 3 viewers and 4 likes, but I think some of them came from people who just didn't come from people who just tuned in yet. Feel free to give a like. I appreciate it muchly. And yeah, stay tuned. I'm really looking forward to having my friend on the stream very shortly. It'll be a different stream, but this morning still. I'm just going to take, see, 35 minutes. I don't know if I need that much time. I mean, when I do have guests on, I like to prepare some questions. But it's early. I'm tired. This is very spur of the moment that I'm going to be doing this with her. And although I've got about half an hour, part of me feels like I just want it to be organic in the moment. I know that she doesn't mind that for the most part. And the viewers can bring in the questions. That could also uh, would also be great. And otherwise, it'll be a conversation that, yeah, we're hoping will be bring some benefit to others as well, which is why we're going to do it on here. So as long as everything goes well and she makes it home safely, um, like I was saying, a G, hopefully the positives outweigh the worry, I think is what he said. Then that's what we'll be doing. So we don't even need to consider the time zone difference. I mean, if you're able to watch while live, like I say, it's in the next about half hour. If you're not able to, you can find it in the live tab later and watch it. And we will hope to see you here then. I'm considering wrapping up, but then I'm thinking, what do I need to do in that time other than maybe top up my drinks, which is basically maybe heat up my coffee. Eating might be good since I'm not going to the thing that I might have gotten a breakfast at. But I don't really feel like the thing I've been eating for the past 2 or 3 days, even though it's good and it's better than I often eat in the morning. So, I mean, I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe I should try fasting this morning. It's not something I do often, but and then just have lunch. I have a nice uh, pizza that I got the other day, like a flatbread pizza that I'm not too sure if G will like. but I could save some. I don't want to hear it later. Oh, I would rather have had it fresh. But I don't know if I feel like pasta. I don't know if I feel like the breakfast wraps I was going to have. So, but I know I'm going to have to eat eventually. And I also kind of feel like I'd like to have something with my coffee because I made it quite sweet. And it's a small cup and I can't really adjust it easily. But anyway, speaking of quite sweet, thank you for the 5th like. And yeah, there is something I did want to watch and I wanted to do it in the morning. But if I talk with her from 9:45 till 10:45 or even 11 and then do it, I have the flexibility this morning because I'm watching a particular channel from home that also has internationally, including locally, a feature, a component where there's like um, getting together in person, a speaking presentation, a breakfast, some socializing. It just wasn't meant for this morning. That's meant to be here on YouTube. So again, thank you for watching. I hope I see you back in the next 25 minutes. For as much as you're able to watch, and you're welcome to chat. And if we see your comments, we will try to get to them. And other than that, yeah. And if whenever you're able to watch it is fine. And I'm going to take another look in the fridge and see if I can find something. See, the thing is, I don't want anything too dry because it will affect my throat. I feel like, although if I'm having a drink with it, I don't know. I suppose it's true that, I think part of me feels as much as a lot of us have busy lives, and if we didn't, consciously make an effort to fit it in, we'd just go without eating well, and then that would maybe make our day more of a challenge, with our endurance and stuff. But there is definitely a part of me that does also agree that eating only when you're hungry makes most sense, especially with the cost of things these days. Like if you're just eating because you think you should be, then, I'm a person that does 3 meals a day, and that's how I have been most of my life. But yeah, I think, and yeah. Anyway, so see you guys. See any of the 3 of you that are currently watching that are able to come back in about, now what is it? It's still about 30 minutes because I think I did the timing wrong. It's about 9:15 now, and I'm talking about 9:45. So whatever the math of that is. At the moment, my head's not able to do it, but we will see you hopefully soon. Bye.